Welcome back to Level Up. Remember, we don't take bribes, but donations are always appreciated.
Unless the bribes are substantial.
Of course. Speaking of substantial donations, I will review Final Fantasy XIII in exactly 10 seconds!
He's probably bluffing about that. In a bit of breaking news, Sony has unveiled their take on the Wiimote, and quite frankly, it's hilarious. It's like if I made fun of Kenley for wearing a silly hat, but then when he gets all these great compliments on it, I rush to the store to get a sillier hat. It's just...
It was 4 years ago when the Final Fantasy series received a new game to add to its impressively sized roster of titles. Too bad that game was a frickin' huge disappointment. Now, in March of 2010, we are graced with a new title from Square Enix. But is this new update a welcoming breath of revitalizing air, or a sputtered cough from a decaying corpse? Well, listen up, RPG fans, because all your concerns are about to be addressed. Well, at least all the ones that didn't make me uncomfortable to read. Stupid fanfiction. Right. Let's kick things off by addressing the obvious. Final Fantasy XIII looks amazing. Now, Final Fantasy games have been known to push the graphical limits of consoles before, but never have I seen such beautiful detail in the character models, environments, and enemies. Some of the levels in the game are just absolutely breathtaking. And the cutscenes have always been gorgeous, but Final Fantasy XIII's cutscenes could rival any big-name CGI movie. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Avatar. This brings us to the story. Like most JRPGs, actually, heck, like all JRPGs, feature a highly melodramatic storyline. Final Fantasy XIII breaks the mold here a little, but certainly doesn't escape this paradigm completely. I can't really do the story too much justice by trying to explain it here. All I can say is that it's typical Final Fantasy fare, meaning that it makes perfect sense and sounds cool to you while you're playing the game, but it makes for awkward table conversation. Now, the main characters do tend to follow the typical RPG stereotypes. However, Final Fantasy XIII seems to have achieved the unthinkable because they've made their characters much more bearable over the standard RPG repertoire. Well, all of them except Vanille. No one likes Vanille. Lightning is the badass, relatively foul-tempered former soldier, except she's a girl. Snow is the stubbornly friendly nice guy who doubles as the group's muscle. Hope is the whiny, angsty emo kid. And Vanille is the overly peppy, annoyingly optimistic, bubbly sidekick girl that you want to punch in the face. And Fang, well, she's the mysterious assassin lady that shows up halfway through the game. Oh, and Sash. That's the African-American comic relief. Yay, stereotypes. All right, next we've got the battle sequences. You have a pretty standard Final Fantasy system here, but it evolves and grows more in depth as the game progresses. It's surprisingly complex, yet it's simple to grasp and master by around the 3rd or 4th level. You only control the party leader, whoever that happens to be at the time, while the other characters carry out their actions based on whatever role they're set to. These roles can be changed on the fly thanks to this game's paradigm system. The game features no mana system. Instead, all actions, magical or physical, cost segments of the character's ATB gauge, which fills automatically throughout the battle. Now that I've given the game a proper lip service, let me get down to the few dim points that make this game creak a little during plays. First off, the battle systems have a rating system at the end of them. Really? Really, Square Enix? It's like you knew about my hatred of rating systems and then deliberately put them in Final Fantasy XIII just to piss me off. Second, the upgrade system. Now, every weapon and accessory in the game is upgradable, and it can be raised to new and more powerful weapons and accessories. However, this upgrade system is really complex, and it features no tutorial system at all. It's really frustrating and confusing the first time you go to use it. Third, the levels are extremely linear. While I personally didn't have a problem with this, many Final Fantasy fans used to the broad open worlds and side quests of past titles will be disappointed. The game opens up a wee bit later on, but it's not by much. Finally, some of the game levels feel like unnecessary padding just to stretch the game out a bit. 3 discs of it. Still, when all is said and done, I really enjoyed Final Fantasy XIII. I like most of the characters, and the plot and fiction of the game really drew me into the experience. The battle system is a welcome variation, and the linear levels, for me, kept the pace nice and fast. But Square Enix, if you ever make a mistake like 12 or 8 again, I'll cut you.
Allow me to begin by pointing out that in the game industry, everyone copies everyone else. This is no secret. It is a widely practiced technique, like hiring employees, having meetings, and advertising for their games. Maybe that's why I find Sony shenanigans revolving around the Wii's motion control and its own knockoff so funny. Jack Tretton, CEO of Sony Computer Entertainment, went on record deriding the Wii as a lollipop, suggesting that it was unfit for anyone over the age of 7. But I think he forgot that Sony was already planning to copy Nintendo. I mean, if you're going to make fun of another company's waggling device, you had better come up with something that at least looks different when you inevitably imitate them. Actually, I wonder why Sony even decided to incorporate motion control into their lineup in the first place. Wait, must be the mountains of cash the Wii has brought Nintendo. Now, keep in mind that Jack thinks the Wiimote looks silly. Meet the PlayStation Move. Much less silly than a Wiimote. More complicated, too. It seems to use a camera in conjunction with a wand and nunchuck configuration. Kind of looks like a microphone or an ice cream cone or, wait a minute, like a lollipop. I mean, they couldn't have gotten closer if they had made the top out of sugar and replaced the barrel with a stick. Jack, you truly are the Joe Biden of the game industry.
You guys fundamentally feel this is going to be a better interactivity experience?
I think it is a big idea, and if you really want to get involved in playing with a camera, I suggest you go out and buy a $99 PlayStation 2 and play some of the great technology that we invented 8 years ago. But, you know, I think ultimately this is next generation.
Now, as per our producer's orders, next week and possibly after, we'll be broadening our horizons and featuring games from other platforms other than the Xbox or PC. I don't know what we'll find, but who knows? Might be awesome.
Are you kidding? This mandate is rife with opportunity. Uncharted 2, God of War 3, some other AAA sequel. We fit, for God's sake.
But we don't own a PS3 or a Wii.
Then we'll just have to build them ourselves.
Well, that's it for this week. Tune in next time for more Level Up.
Also, we now have a radio show, so check it out on the ION LC Facebook page.